What about ye? We have a 2017 Jaguar XE, and this one's the diesel, and quite a simple operation, you would think. We're going to do a brake pad change, brake pads only. He doesn't want the disc done, or the discs look a bit ropey too. But see, getting this parking brake into the surface position is causing me a bit of grief. Right, so we'll have the fap off on it there, and I take it around here, and we'll have it on battery support. So this is this Ingenium engine, and another wee thing I've done is I've locked the bonnet catches so it thinks the bonnet is closed. And I'll tell you why I did that in a wee minute, because this wasn't working. So with the ignition on and where are we? Anti-lock brakes, ignition on, functional tests, special functions, release the service position. Now hopefully it should work now. So carried out when the parking brakes are being replaced. After the brake pads have been replaced, you must carry out exit maintenance mode. Note the service position, the parking brake will not operate. Right, that's dead on. So please ensure that the battery voltage is kept above 12.5 volts for the duration of this diagnostic session. Connect a battery charger. So we have battery support on, ignition is on, vehicle stationary, blah blah blah. Continue. Error. Conditions not correct. So I'm having a bit of diffs here. Right, I'm going to try it again here. This time I'm going to have the brakes released. So I just done it. Operation successful. Switch the ignition off. After the brake pads have been replaced, you must carry out exit maintenance mode before you do anything else. Diagnostic trouble codes may have set during this procedure. Right, we'll just keep that connected. We'll do these brake pads. Right, we'll start to remove some stuff here. Now, there is a so she is released. So there is a manual procedure for doing that, but I tried it in this, and well, it didn't work. But I'll just show you that now. This is the manual procedure. Now, I tried this on this 2017 model year XE, but it didn't work. It may work on a 2016 up to 2016. So basically, you can read it there yourselves. You can pause the video there. Basically, it's hold the parking brake switch in the release position, wait 1 second, press and hold accelerator pedal in the wide open throttle position, wait 1 second, and switch the ignition off and on, and you get a message on the dash. So we'll go down there, and that's basically, you know, reversing it, and whenever you're finished changing the brake pads. But it does say to keep the ignition on. So that might work for you, you know. It certainly didn't work on this 2017 model year, you know. So a couple of wee idiosyncrasies there. And if you notice, this side has a wear sensor. So when you buy your brake pads, you have to buy that separately. And there's only the one just on this driver side UK. You know. So that's not unusual. Mercedes, BMWs, and stuff like that, yeah, have to buy a wear separately. So just get these off. Just looking at this wear sensor here. So it plugs in up here somewhere. But if we look at the new one we got, that's it there. The length of it. So there's the plug on it there. There's the sensor. So we'll have a Christmas tree where the plug is, and a couple of clips there. So great. So following it around, that's it there. That lower wire. When there's that top one's the ABS. So that's definitely that lower wire. Where's that connector? See, it's away on top of the axle. It's away in there somewhere. 5-minute job, he said. Sure, you could do this in no time. You know? Yeah. You've all the gear, he said. You know? It's the wee clip up there now. So that's the one you're after there. There's a few wires here, ABS and what have you. So that's it there. Right, we've got it released. Couldn't film that. I had a bit of a just a trim praising tool there, and that's that. So it's catching on right. Take a mental note of what way I went in. It's catching in everything. Sick. Finally. Yeah, just leave it in there for the minute. I'm going to disconnect that multi-plug there. It's full of dirt. So let's see if I can lift the tab. Oh, there's a wee locker on it that I couldn't see. Ah. Right. Get this caliper off. We'll just do the old wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There we go. What's this? Oh, for Christ's sake. Hey, we'll just chop that. And spray them stuck. Yeah. I think you needed them. So this piston should just push back, you know. Now, you don't want to use like a C-clamp on this because this is all plastic, you'll damage it. So it's up to yourself what way you push that back. It shouldn't rotate because the motor's wound back, you know, it's wound that back in again because it's in the service position. So that's why it needs to go into that service position, you know. So what I like to do, well, all these, whether they're windies or whether they're pushbacks, is you know, it's just wet the surface of the piston in there. So get a tiny wee squirt of WD in there. So that just wets the piston for whenever, you know, I'm pushing it back into the seal. So, right, I'm going to use this. Now, this is the normal windy tool, but this is a blank on the end of this. You know, so it's not gonna pin anything. So if it fits, just about. There we go. And we're going to wind this in. So before you wind these in, take the fluid cap off and you know, keep an eye on the fluid that it doesn't overflow. You know. If she's pretty full. I just checked this one there. We're all right for a minute. We'll go to do the second one. I might have to draw a wee bit out of the reservoir. So that's us wound back, or well, push back, not wound back. So we'll give that a bit of a wire brushing, a bit of a doing. Now the piston is in, so give that a bit of a going with a bit of P60. Just clean this up. Get our wee slider pins. There. Yeah, then a bit of a clean up there, not too bad. So this one here, this carrier is steel. Right, the magnet sticks to it. See, on the aluminium ones, if that was aluminium, you know, the aluminium oxide corrodes and it grabs this wee boot here. So there's a rubber boot, and that slider pin goes in there like that, you know. So these are lovely. We'll get a wee bit of red rubber grease in that. We'll give that a wee bit of a clean up. But I'm happy enough that we don't have to pull this boot out and give the inside a clean out because it's a steel one. So just give this a good doing with a wire brush. We'll give all that a blow off when we're done. So that's a stiff wire brush, and I go to a soft wire brush. This one's not too bad, like. By the way, there's about 50,000 men in this thing. So I didn't show the dashboard earlier on. So in this style of carrier that doesn't have, you know, these spring clips, you know, that sees in it, these don't have brake hardware as such. So just get the rust off it, because the pans don't jam. The pans don't jam in there, you know. You know what I mean? Now, you have to watch with these pads, because we were saying there's one with springs in the back of it. You know, so that's the inboard one, clearly. That's where the piston sat on it. And this is the outboard one, and it does not have springs on it. You know, so you need to get them in the right way. And you could have said, well, why didn't you use the reuse the wear sensor? I cut it just for easy handiness. Well, when the pads go right down, you know, it's a sacrificial wear sensor, so it lobs the end of it off. Theoretically, I suppose we could have reused this particular one, but generally speaking, they're mucked up and crud. And see, but whenever you pull them out, there you are. There's the clip still retaining. You know, so you just replace them, but you have to order that separately whenever you get your pads. And we got rid of that dust. Had a guy in the comments on a brake video, and he says, you're going to get asbestosis doing that with a blowgun. You're watching a how-to on how to do brakes, and that's the best you come up with. Start quoting me health and safety law now. Right, people in the channel, the subscribers will know this is the stuff I like to use, this ceramic stuff, not copper grease. Copper grease is evil. We do not use copper grease on this channel. It is a thing of the past. And we just do the wee ears there, just for contact. And this wheel was a wee bit sticky coming off. So where the stick is in here, you know, people plaster there. It's not necessary. It doesn't stick there. It sticks in this middle sort of hub bit. It sticks in there. And what that is the aluminium oxide of the aluminium alloy wheel reacting with the steel and water and salt and all that crap. And you know, so copper and an aluminium wheel doesn't go. Copper and aluminium do not mix. Galvanic corrosion, they call it, and that's why we're using this white stuff. That's in the Amazon store. Dave started Amazon store. It's about a tenner. Last year for ages, although I use a right bit of it. Is the brake pads we're going to use. These Duratec ones, no affiliation whatsoever. It's just with my motor factor stock, and I quite like them. They seem to be pretty good now, you know. So I've already taken the plastic off these two. Get the grease off your fingers. I know they're dirty, but there's no grease on them. Well, don't think there is. When you're pulling these, so we'll have a spring clip on one, so that's clearly the inboard one, and none on the other. They're not directional, so you can see in this one that the wear sensor won't fit in to there anyway, you know. So okay, we'll get them in, and we don't need grease of any description on these wee ears here. You know, that'll just get washed off in no time if you do put it on. Right, so just put our carrier into position, our caliper in the position, and we'll just have to hold there as it's well, it might sit there, but got our wee slider pins cleaned up just with a bit of emery paper in the vise there. You could do it in a wire wheel or whatever, and that's red rubber grease on it there. And we'll get the second one in down the bottom. Right, slider pins in tightened up. Just make sure these wee springs, you know, they're not sticking out of this hole, you know, that they're actually catching on the caliper. There's some cars that's very easy to do, you know. So we'll get our plug back on again. What the? You hear that? Right, you can hear that. There's bank pipes in the background. Right, this wee spud, and that's the bit that will give you an alarm if these pads go down. So, you know, that has to go in, so it's going to touch the disc. So don't put it in like that. whatever you do. Well, if you do, it'll not do anything, it won't work, you know. So we'll get that ridiculously long wire clipped into place and plugged back in above the axle. Yes. Is Sandy answering, doesn't me? It's a surprise visit from Sandy. We must remember this thing here. Now, this thing here is a bit rusty. It's actually, these lose their spring tension over time. So if it's an older car, it might be worthwhile replacing that spring there. You know. And let them two wee boys in the back here. Keeps the water out of them. That's the new wire installed there. I'll put a wee bit of WD-40 for that wee fir tree clip or Christmas tree clip to go into the hole better. So there's two holes there, and we'll get the main harness wire clicked on. Right, that's both sides done. And before the health and safety get at me, always put axle stands if you're going to jack a car up and all that to carry on. Or better still, put the wheels underneath it as well. So we're going to go back to this machine and see what the crack is. We'll turn the ignition on for start. And where are we here? Exit maintenance mode. Continue. Turn the music off. Battery above 12 volts. We've still got the battery maintainer on it. Set the ignition to on, position 2, already done that. Make sure the following actions have been taken. Stationary, level ground. Brake pedal is not pressed. Re-enable the parking switch. This procedure will now extend the caliper pistons. Okay. Continue. Yeah, good job. Please wait. Sorry it's a bit blurry, guys. This isn't doing this handheld. Operation successful. Continue. Ignition off. And I heard the brakes applying there. Diagnostic codes may have been sent during this procedure. Right? Okay. Don't know what that means, but we'll clear it all out anyway. Ignition on. Music off again. Code care complete. Job's a good one, I think. I hope. So I put my foot on the brake. I think that's it. So there we go. I'll just advise the punter that he's going to need a set of discs soon. So we'll take it out for a wee run to bed the pads in and make sure everything's good. There's a nice driving thing this there, like, you know, see why people like them. But working on them, not so nice. But that wee procedure that I showed earlier on, you know, that might work for you. I don't know. It's a 2017 model year, and I think the Autel is giving me diffs because, well, it's out of date, and this car might be just a wee bit too new. 4-year-old, like, but that Autel's out of date this good while, you know. So, mightn't be the tool. It might be just the fact that I haven't updated it in years, or it hasn't had an update. But anyway, there you go. Maybe we get something out of it. Thanks very much for watching, as ever, and all the best. And
this never happened to the other fella.